Hey guys, today I would like to recommend a movie and tell you a short summary of the project Hail Mary. It's a new movie, so if you didn't see it and don't want to hear any spoilers, please watch the movie first. So let's start. The story starts in the near future when scientists start to observe the sun is dimming very quickly, and at the same time, there's a forming dim infrared line from Sun to Venus, which is called the Petrova line after the first observer, Dr. Irina Petrova. It turns out that this dimming will cause a catastrophic ice age within 30 years, and the governments of the world decide to appoint the former European Space Agency Administrator Eva Strat to solve this problem and give her almost ultimate authority. They send a space probe to Venus to find out what is this Petrova line made of. Eva Strat decides to ask a junior high school teacher, Ryland Grace, who has a PhD in molecular biology, to study the sample from the Petrova line. He finds out that it's made up of single-celled organisms that consume and release electromagnetic radiation, and he calls it astrophage, and he finds out that astrophage breeds by absorbing energy from the sun and carbon dioxide from Venus. It turns out that astrophage infected and dimmed other nearby stars, but there is one star, Tau Ceti, that isn't affected by this. So a starship called the Hail Mary is built in order to go to Tau Ceti and investigate how it is possible that this star has resisted this threat. And as a fuel, astrophage is being used because it turns out that it's far better than any fuel that has been used before. Meanwhile, they make big efforts to increase the greenhouse effect to prolong the life on Earth and also to mass produce astrophage. However, they can only breed enough astrophage for a one-way trip, so the findings will be returned to Earth using unmanned mini-ships called Beetles. There is no time to train a comparably skilled replacement, so Eva Strat decides to force Ryland Grace to join this suicide mission against his will. He gets sedated, put aboard the ship, and is administered a temporary amnesia-inducing drug so that when he wakes up, he doesn't sabotage the mission out of spite. 4 years and 8 months later, he really wakes up on this spaceship, Hail Mary, approaching Tau Ceti, and he finds out that he has no memory about his identity or his situation, and he finds the rest of the crew dead. So over the next weeks, he slowly, gradually recovers little pieces of his memory about this mission. One day, the Hail Mary is approached by an alien starship that Grace names Blip A after the name that occurred on the radar. The alien starship sends a star map sculpture indicating it came from 40 Eridani. The starship's dock, and Ryland develops a communication system with the eyeless, five-legged, spider-like, rock-like alien whom he calls Rocky. Rocky is a skilled engineer who has been working in the Tau Ceti system for 46 Earth years, and he's the last survivor of his crew. The rest of them died because of the radiation sickness. As Rocky's planet, the 40 Eridani, called Arid by Ryland, is also under astrophage threat, they decide to cooperate. Together, they come up with an idea that this planet connected to the system, they call it Adrian, there must live some organism that keeps this Tau Ceti system resistant to the astrophage. Because of the dangerous conditions on Adrian, Rocky and Ryland decide to construct a 10-kilometer long chain made of xenonite, which is an Iridian supermaterial, to come near Adrian and collect a sample. A hull breach occurs during the collection, and Rocky and Ryland risk their lives to save each other. From the sample, they are able to identify the predator microbe and call it amoeba. Rocky and Ryland become very good and close friends, and Rocky still has enough fuel for both of them to go back to their planet, so he wants to give Ryland a chance to go back home. Ryland is able to refuel and repair the Hail Mary and says goodbye to Rocky, and they both head to their own planets with a supply of Tamiba in order to save their civilizations. On the way back, Ryland is shocked by finding out that he bred into the Tamiba an ability to penetrate the xenonite containers. He isolates it on the Hail Mary but realizes that the Blip A is almost entirely made of xenonite, and soon enough, the Tamiba will consume all of the astrophage fuel and will leave Rocky stranded. So now Grace is forced to decide between returning to the Earth as a hero and dooming the Iridians, or saving the Iridians and facing his own starvation because the food on Erid is toxic to humans. In the end, Ryland decides to send the Beatles to Earth with the Tamiba and instructions how to save the sun. He locates the Blip A and rescues Rocky, and Rocky is overjoyed and suggests that Ryland could survive on consuming Tamiba. 16 years later, Ryland and Rocky are living together on Erid, and they got rid of the astrophage infection. Meanwhile, the Eridians have built more comfortable environment for Ryland to live in and also some synthetic food. Rocky tells Ryland that the Earth's sun returned to its original luminescence, indicating that his mission was successful. Knowing that the humanity survived, he is now considering returning back to Earth. But before that, we see the final scene where he is in his current job teaching the Iridian students his beloved science.